Howdy y'all, and welcome back to I Am Abled Because I Am is Able. Today I wanted to talk to you about my garden and, well, what it's been teaching me about my own spiritual health. Oftentimes in the church we talk about pruning back the things that are unhealthy for us, our sins, our unhealthy habits, whatever it may be, that can keep us from a healthy spiritual life, a healthy walk with God. And that's good. That is definitely talked about in the Bible several places, and we need to discuss this as a church. But I think one thing that goes undiscussed, which should be discussed, and I totally applaud a local church that actually did put this in their sermon recently, and it was so mind-blowing because it was at the same time God was talking to me about the same topic, so woohoo! And that is how to deal with healthy overgrowth. This is something in gardening that people who don't garden probably don't think about, because I didn't until I started growing stuff and tending to it. And that is that sometimes if you are keeping a beautiful garden like this and you see beautiful growth, if you keep it all for yourself because it's so beautiful and you never trim back the healthy stuff, never trim back, let's say, these beautiful roses that are growing up there, that overgrowth can eventually become unhealthy and start choking the stuff below. And so you have to know when to actually even trim healthy, producing plants. Healthy fruit. The last video I did, I was talking about how much it grew, this area grew out in just about 2 weeks. At that point, it had grown well out over our grass. But it was beautiful. There were roses on so much of it. If I had let it continue, if I had not trimmed it back, we A, could not have mowed our lawn or had the gardener do it, and B, it would have choked everything else around it and not allowed for healthy growth. This is how your florists are able to continue to produce beautiful flowers for you to get and pay for, to make good on Valentine's Day and anniversaries and all those other beautiful times of year, or weddings. They need to trim back healthy growth in order to encourage more healthy growth. And this really struck me when I was trimming these things back and watching some of this overgrowth happen, that we don't talk about that enough as a church and what to make out of that. What struck me as I was praying over this concept and what that means in my life was that oftentimes when we produce, or when I produce, good spiritual fruits, it's easy to want to just sit with that with myself and not give that to others. I know that sounds strange, but when you're in a good place with God sometimes, it's easy to be selfish with that. And that's not healthy. If you can't give that out, what good does that fruit produce? And that's why I make these videos, to not just keep it to myself. Well, that's part of why I make these videos. The other thing that was really fascinating to me was that a local church that I was watching the church live stream of that one Sunday, that I was actually thinking about this and praying over this, he actually discussed this very thing, this pruning back not only unhealthy but healthy growth and what that can look like in our spiritual life. And it was very fascinating to me how they addressed the fact that it might hurt. It hurts the same to trim back unhealthy growth as it can to trim back healthy growth. Sometimes it's healthy, but if you keep it growing and never give it out, what does it ever produce? What healthfulness does it bring? I don't know exactly what to make of all of this yet. I'm still wrapping my head around this concept and how it really relates to our spiritual life. But I do believe that there are so many things in gardening, in life, in God's nature all around us that can really teach us about himself and how our spiritual life can work with him and vice versa. And I encourage you to think about this and to pray about this. How does the idea of trimming back healthy things hit your heart? What is a healthy thing in your life that is healthy? What might you need to do with that? Do you need to give it to others right now? Do you need to show it to others? I don't know. But I encourage you to pray about this, to think about this, because I don't think he just put it here for us to just stare at. Okay, well, that is all I have for today's video. Thank you for watching thus far. God bless y'all, and ciao for now. Bye.